Hi friends, my name is Hannah from The Friendly Teacher, and I am here today to talk to you all about text structure. So text structure, it was kind of when I started teaching, like, why are we teaching this? What's the point? I didn't really know about it. And then as I began to master teaching it, I understood the reasons why we need to teach this, right? Nonfiction text is something that you come across in real life all of the time when you're Googling information and you're trying to decide, why is the writer of this article writing this piece of information? Is it true? And so things like that. So text structure is going to play a big role into the rest of your students' lives. So teaching them how to master it is very important. So today I'm going to share with you 5 activities that you can do with your students this week to teach them how to master text structure. At the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you a free resource that you can use in your classroom today to help your students master text structure as well. All right, so activity number 1 is one activity that I would do at the beginning of my text structure unit, and it's called acting out text structure. And the reason that you're going to do this is because it's going to help your students have a memory with text structure. It's going to be in a different modality than you would typically teach text structure, and it will really help your students kind of master that concept of what the different text structures are. So how you're going to do this is I'm going to give each group a little thing to do that has a text structure. So my one group is going to compare and contrast basketball to football in their scene that they're acting out. My other group is going to show me the sequence of events of how to get ready for school in the morning, and they're going to act that out. My other group might do a cause and effect acting out of what happens if your whole breakfast burns, okay? So basically, I'm going to have one little scene that each group will act out to show the text structure, not using words at all. So they'll come up and they will act it out in front of the class, and then the class has to guess what text structure they are using. So this is a way to teach your students what the 5 text structures are, and it's a way to kind of get that into memory for your students, plus they will be engaged and have fun and all of that good stuff. Activity number 2 is called the Switch It Up. Now, this is an activity that I do probably all year long with text structure because it is a way for students to kind of think with a higher level thinking to really master that text structure skill. So what that is we're going to read a text that's comparing and contrasting, or we're going to read a text that is cause and effect, and then you're going to rewrite that same text in a different text structure. So for example, on Epic, there is a book, and Epic is a free book site for kids that you can use at any time. It's called Cats versus Dogs. The kids love this book. It's a very simple read. You can read it in maybe 10 minutes to your class on the smartboard. So I read that book, and that book's text structure is compare and contrast. They're comparing cats versus dogs. So we all as a class are going to determine what the text structure is and talk about how we found it. Then each student is going to go and they are going to rewrite that story in a new text structure. So maybe they're going to choose sequence of events and they're going to write how you take care of a dog and a cat. So they're going to give the sequence of events for that. Maybe they're going to choose problems and solutions, and they're going to say problems with having a dog, problems with having a cat, here are the solutions. Does this make sense? So now, not only did they have to determine the text structure of the cats versus dogs story, now they need to use their higher level thinking to come up and write the same topic, but a new text structure of nonfiction text. So that is an activity you could do right now with that cats versus dogs story, or you could use many different article stories to do the exact same thing, where they're determining the text structure and then they are flipping the text structure on the same type of information. All right, number 3 this is how you can tie in reading and writing in an integration, which is always so important, right? And you could probably tie in social studies here too, because you're going to, or science, because you're doing nonfiction text. So I'm going to have the students all pick a text structure. Okay, now they get to write on whatever they want to write about. So say they pick compare and contrast and they decide they want to compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan, right? It doesn't matter what they choose. They're going to choose their topic and they're going to write a paragraph in one of those text structures. So whether it's compare and contrast, cause and effect, whatever they choose. You could have them draw out of a hat, or you could let them choose on their own, however you'd want to do that. Now they're going to write their paragraph, and then their friends are going to read their paragraph and have to determine, are they using cause and effect? Are they using compare and contrast? Are they using sequence of events, right? So they're writing the paragraph. Other people in the classroom are reading it and analyzing it to determine that text structure. So you're integrating writing. You could do the topics that they're writing on to be your social studies or science integration, okay? So this activity could be an integration of all your subjects into one. And it's super easy, right? Next one, digital practice. Kids love digital practice. We are in the digital world. Although myself, I am a paper, pencil, actual book type of person. I like to do digital things in the classroom. So some easy digital activities, and at the end of, you can go to thefriendlyteacher.com/text structure to actually link to each of these activities. So one is playing a Blook It. If you've never played Blook It before, you should be playing it in your classroom. It is a game for students to practice things. The teacher doesn't really have to do much but walk around and actually teach. The kids absolutely love it, like they go crazy for it, and it gives you some data to realize what students need to work on and things like that. So in that blog post, thefriendlyteacher.com/text structure, you can get that Blook It, and you click on it, and then you can download it and play it with your kids. There's also a snowball fight game that practices text structure that is linked in that blog post. And then lastly, things I do these with every one of my skills, and they're reading center slides, so it makes them watch a video and analyze the text structure. It makes them read a close read and analyze the text structure, and then there's text structure games in those slides as well. So doing some type of digital practice game is a great way to review text structure or practice it throughout the week. And then my last activity that you can do are activities with task cards. So you can do so many things with task cards. In the freebie that I'm giving you, you're going to have a text structure task cards that you can use for all of these activities. You could play board games where the kids have to answer the text structure task card in order to move on the board game. You could just put the task cards around the room and do switch every time you yell switch. You could hide the task cards and they have to find them and do them. You could do them as a class. You could also have the task cards be like underneath desks and they have to lay under their desk, read the task card, and answer it on their paper. So ways to practice text structure, but with a little bit of engagement and movement around the classroom. So as a part of this little text structure video, I am providing you guys a freebie, and in this freebie, you can get a whole set of task cards that practice text structure, plus my text structure anchor chart that I always keep up during the text structure unit, and my kids keep them in their notebooks, okay? And then I think there's also a Monday lesson plan in there as well. So if you go to thefriendlyteacher.com/skill week sample, you can grab those text feature resources for free. I will also link that in the bottom of the video. All right, guys, so I hope that you can do one or all of these text structure activities. Have a great week. Bye.